Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be talking about how you can protect your feminine energy once you have started enjoying embodying it. So this topic is actually important because one of the benefits, I talked about it in my previous video, is of femininity is that it makes you more magnetic, right? So you're going to notice that when you're on this journey, you're going to be attracting things to yourself. People are going to be attracted and magnetically drawn to you. You don't have to chase them or anything like that. They just want to be in your energy because of how nourishing it feels, right? And at first, it feels good, right? It feels good to be able to attract things to yourself. And you start to enjoy it, especially if you came from a certain level of consciousness where you didn't feel seen or heard, right? And then you do your leveling up and embrace your femininity, and now you're shiny and everybody wants to come talk to you, right? It can start to feel good, but if you notice, it can also start to feel overwhelming, and then you can get to a point it's like, oh, leave me alone. Leave me alone, right? And you may want to start hiding, which is then taking us back to where we don't want to go, right? One of the reasons why we're embodying femininity is so we can be us and we don't have to hide to be someone else. So one of the things that I wanted to do today was to kind of give you tips on how you can protect your energy so that you can have enough for you and be able to give from your overflow versus allowing people to take from you and you having nothing for yourself, right? Nobody wins in that case. All right, so one of the very first tips that I would give you is that become extremely conscious of where your energy is going. So start to take inventory of the times when you have felt drained or tired in the presence of someone or people. If there's specific personalities or kinds of people that you notice are taking and seeping your energy to a point that it just leaves you with nothing, start to become aware. Because only when you become aware of something, that's when you can change it, right? So become conscious. Don't give yourself away for free. And unless, of course, you're conscious and you want to do that, don't allow people to take from you from an unconscious manner, right? So the beauty of femininity is that when it's overflowing, it's more than enough for others. You don't have to drain the person who's embodying feminine to enjoy feminine energy, right? Its overflow is so beautiful that it transforms things, right, in the process. So bear that in mind. Start to take inventory of who is draining you, who's draining your energy and leaving you with nothing, right? Once you become aware of, and it doesn't have to be just people, it could be situations, right? It could be going to certain kinds of functions or events where you just feel drained. You just don't know what it is, but you just feel drained. So things like that, it's important that you become aware of that. The next step is, see, you need to understand this. Your energy is worth more than gold. And you need to put a price on your energy. Only then will you as a person start to value it. And when I mean put a price, I mean become expensive. So whereas before you would, focus your attention and give your energy to situations where you don't even care and do not even align with your values, and you just allow people to trigger you and take your energy in that form, you need to become expensive. Become so expensive that whoever is stepping into your field, right, needs to either earn the energy or you were conscious enough before you give your energy out. So you cannot be careless with the things that you allow into your field. And when I mean field, I mean your attention, your physical field, your emotional field. You have to become super aware of what you let into your attention. You cannot allow your thoughts take up space when they haven't earned it. You cannot allow certain kinds of thoughts take up space when they haven't earned it. Right? So that is a form of energy seeping, right? That is on the emotional perspective. You cannot allow that. That's why I say you need to become more expansive. So before a specific thought that you don't want transforms itself into an emotion, you are aware of that and you can nip it in the bud. Let me give you an example. Say, for example, you decided to volunteer for an event, okay? And you guys are having a conversation like, okay, let's go with this color, let's go with this design or something like that. And somebody in that space is like, no, I don't like this color. It's not this, it's not that, whatever. They have an opinion, right? And for some reason, that opinion triggers you, okay? Now, when you are not aware and when you're not conscious and when your energy doesn't have value to you, you're going to let that trigger feed. You're going to feed into that person's energy and pool, and you're going to let yourself be triggered enough where you may get into an altercation, especially if you haven't done your inner work. If you've done your inner work, you're going to be like, what, when it comes to this example, because there's no chatter in your mind that's going on anyways. But hey, for the benefit of people who are still on their journey. So you're going to let yourself or your energy get pulled into that when you could simply just like state whatever it is that you may find doesn't align with you, set it in a way and let it go. You're going to start dwelling on it. How could this person think this? How could they say that? And then you're going to leave that vicinity, go home, start chatting with your family about that occurrence. And then after you're done chatting with your family, you're going to call your friends on the phone. Can you believe this person said this about this and this about that? Do you see how much energy you're spending on something that is so insignificant in comparison to this journey that you have on earth? It is so insignificant, but you're spending so much time. And then after you're done calling your friends, like, can you believe this person said that? Then you lie down and start thinking about it, how their day and how do this and how do that. So something that you could have felt the trigger and let it pass through your body, and that's it. And then if you feel the need to speak up, then you can speak up and it just gets resolved there. That could have taken 10 minutes. Now it has taken 6 to 7 hours of your energy and of your time. That is energy that you could have been used to be changing the world, changing your life, right? Doing things that bring you joy and peace and happiness. You are expending it on something that, within the grand scheme of things, can be considered insignificant. So that is a good example of when I say become expensive, because when you level up, right, level up your mindset and your energy to a point where before something grabs your attention, it needs to work for it. It needs to earn it. It needs to be something that is worth paying attention to. When you get to that point, certain things will no longer trigger you. And when you've done your inner work in the first place, first of all, you will heal those triggers. So it would be easier to become expensive, right? So it's this beautiful play that goes on with and benefit of doing your inner work and ripping into the benefits of protecting your energy. Ladies, this is a life work. So this is something that doesn't end. This is something that you have to continue to improve. It's like eating food every day, right? You don't eat once and say that's it, right? So become aware of that as well, that it's something you have to stay intentional about and stay committed to in order to enjoy the kind of life that you want to have. So yes, just to reiterate, is become extremely conscious of what gets into your attention, what gets into your field, and decide and choose what you want to dwell and focus your attention on. All right, so the final tip that I want to give is that I am going to do a video on boundaries, by the way. But the final tip that I want to give is you're going to have to enact boundaries. So boundaries that are going to protect your energy. Just to kind of give you a snapshot of the previous example that I gave. So if you have noticed that each time you go for that event you volunteered for, hypothetically, of course, you've noticed that there's somebody there, or that event itself just has a certain kind of energy that drains you, okay? One thing that can help as a boundary is you can decide to stop going for the event, like literally cut it off. Or you can say, okay, if you don't want to cut it off and you've decided to volunteer and you want to complete it, then you can create a boundary that says that to you, that whenever certain kinds of topics are brought up, you're not going to engage. You have no opinion. Literally, you have no opinion. So if somebody says something that doesn't necessarily align with your value, you can go back and say, wait a minute, is this going to bring me peace, joy, happiness? Nope, I don't care. Okay? And so you don't have an opinion. When I do the video on boundaries, I'm going to address being unbothered and, you know, making sure that you don't get into that line of being cold. Being cold and uncaring, that's a different story. So this doesn't mean that you become uncaring and cold. No, but on the contrary, it just means that if something doesn't align with where you want to go, you don't care. You don't care. And so you're not going to pay it any attention. And the thing about boundaries is boundaries are energetic. You don't go and tell somebody, well, this is my boundary, I'm not going to talk to you like this again. Nope. Nope. Boundaries are energetic. So you make the decision and you act out the boundary, or your energy speaks for itself when you have the boundary fully embodied. Okay, so those are my tips. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There were some tips that I actually feel the need to break down further, so I might have follow-up videos from this, but I hope you guys were able to learn a thing or two. Other than that, I will see you in my next video. Bye.